like, bro, yeah, she got a kid. Look at his back. Oh my god. What's up, and welcome back to another reaction. This is part 2 of MTV Wild 'N Out star DC Young Fly joins Jesse Lee Peterson. Yeah, last time, they were getting into like the discussion of like political stuff, Trump, Christianity, how did DC feel about Islam and whatnot. But you know, DC is a comedian, so he's not necessarily going into this thinking like I'm going to be completely serious with all of this and I'm going to be like spill my heart on all these topics. No, I think he's going in there with a comedic heart, and people tend to forget that, you know, because he kind of take Jesse's dry humor and mistake it as like him being completely serious, and he wants to get to the bottom of it with this. When I really just feel like he's just taking the ultimate epitome of being a troll, mixing in some questions and whatnot of what he think he may want to hear. And then he just keeps saying it. And that's why when he's like talking to someone, he doesn't like actually stop asking the question. He'll just keep asking over and over again, even if they say something stupid. Like, you know what I mean? DC's going off saying all these crazy ass jokes, and he's just like going and going with the question. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't get what he wants to hear, he moves on with amazing. You know what I mean? But you know, Jesse's funny as hell to me. I think he's entertaining enough that we keep reacting to him. You know what I mean? I never said that I agree with everything he says. I definitely do think he has some good points when it comes to some things, but you know what I mean? When you're watching these videos, you don't want to just take everything at face value. You want to just take parts and bits that you may have never heard before, different perspectives maybe. You don't have to completely bring that into yourself and be like, yeah, this is how I'm going to think now. But you can be like, okay, that's a different way to look at it, I guess. But you know what I mean? That should be a thing really in this country. It shouldn't be like taboo to be like, okay, I can see your perspective, even though we don't necessarily agree all the time. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. It's the road to 10K. I really appreciate everybody coming back to the channel. Make sure you check out the Jesse Lee Peterson playlist. Make sure you check out our other playlists if you want to make sure there isn't any videos you want us to see that we may have already reacted to, man. If you check out the 412 show, and that will be gaming. 412 show will be coming back soon. We'll be uploading videos again on that. LB Gaming has videos coming out every week, so make sure you check those both out. We're gonna hop right in.
What's wrong with the other side and how they feeling? Okay, if we could just come together and just say, look, you ain't gotta like me, but what is the problem? You feel what I'm saying? Because the problem is that you don't like me. That's the problem. So, by you know, nigga,
who you referring to when you said who?
No.
Who you referring to?
You got a message. You figure it out. I'm just relaying the message. Okay? And by you saying you don't like me is the reason why motherfuckers are acting crazy. So if that is the biggest problem, you don't like me, how about just stay away?
But I don't know who this is. How would we recognize the ones that
America! Tell this nigga to figure it out.
How would we recognize who they are? You're not saying who they are. Do you believe there's police brutality?
I don't know. It's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of shit going on. All I can say is be safe and stay prayed up.
And stay prayed up?
That's a good answer.
I want to ask you, you are an influence to a lot of other black young boys that want to become become rappers and entertainers.
Right.
I've noticed that not all, but most black Americans are suffering due to the lack of values, due to the lack of principle, lack of character. Mm-hmm. How do we turn, and the destruction of the family as well. The men are not the head of the families, the women are running things. Mm-hmm. How do we change? Do you agree with that, first of all?
Queens can run the family. That's nothing wrong with that.
When you say queens, you mean women?
Yes, most definitely.
And what makes you think they can?
Who else the fuck out there?
What makes you think they can? What's the proof that they can?
What you mean?
That they can run family or run things?
It's by the way a woman carries herself. You gotta understand, we had women warriors too back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They just overlooked by the king warriors. You know what I'm saying? There's some women warriors. And by ancestors, it's in our genes. You know what I'm saying? It's in our women genes. My mama was a warrior. You see what I'm saying? My daddy was around, but he was being a king in his own village.
Who are you closer to, your father or your mother?
Both.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that so many black babies are being born out of wedlock and things are not turning out very well for them?
Hey man, I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't turn out very well because the father figure wasn't there. That doesn't mean that the mother didn't handle her business, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that that child well-being was taken care of.
If the mother was able to do it, why is it that the kids are turned out with horrible lives rather
Who
than
said they turned out with horrible lives?
rather than having the fathers there?
So are you trying to come up with a solution or you asking
Yeah,
a question?
solution.
Okay,
I'm
well
trying
say
to
that
get a
because you're
solution.
saying that they're coming up with horrible lives.
Right.
That doesn't mean that they're horrible. It's just they have to be looking at and taken care of a little bit more. That's all. Somebody talk to you, I hope. Don't look like it, don't sound like it. But you here today. And this is a nice establishment.
Thank you.
So you had some type of direction.
And what is the sign of having love for one another?
Just a pure heart.
Oh, okay.
Just no hatred. It doesn't matter. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. We was oppressed so long ago. People don't understand that we haven't been free that long. We was in the war. The 50s, the 60s, when shit kind of got like equal when we started going to school together. The shit wasn't that long. It's 2020. So we was in
Amazing.
slavery for 400 years. We've been free for about 80.
Where did you get that? Are you joking? Where did you get that from? Are you making a joke right now?
You ain't been paying attention.
I grew up in Alabama on a plantation under the Jim Crow law. We were free then.
You don't sound like it.
Yeah, how's that?
You trapped.
What do you mean I'm
He
trapped?
said you're trapped.
You're so busy going with the oppressor.
Who is the oppressor?
You know what's going on.
Gonna get
Well,
Jesse
no,
and
who's
get
the
out.
oppressor?
You know what's going on.
No, I'm asking you. You said
So by you being from Alabama, what part of Alabama?
down by Tuskegee, Eufaula area.
I need to
there.
know your city. Where you from?
I lived on a plantation. I didn't really live in a city, but I lived between Eufaula and Tuskegee.
So from somebody who lived on the plantation and you grew up on a plantation where slaves were, you didn't want to make a change?
What kind of change?
Like to go back to where you was from and make a change?
You mean like go back to and live down there and make a
No,
change?
not go back and live down there and make a change. Just go back realizing what happened, what your people grew up in.
I
You didn't wanna
wish
make-
I could go back and make a change. You know what I would change it back to?
What?
I would change it back to black men and women getting married, black men and women not having leaders, working, raising their own children,
Right.
not having a stupid so-called civil rights leaders and all that crap.
Ooh.
I would go back to showing blacks how to believe in God and not hate
Like
their
on a
fellow man.
completely
That kind
opposite ends of the
stuff. Work
spectrum
hard.
here.
So, okay.
Buy land.
Okay, cool. So check this out, right? So when the person that you're putting in position to run your country, when he said something in particular about your people that was very disrespectful, you didn't find that offensive?
Who are you referring to? The Great White Hope?
Yeah, you didn't find that offensive?
I never
Great
heard
White
anything
Hope.
he said. What did he say?
said something about the African Americans. It was something. He was like, it doesn't matter. What do they have to lose?
What did he say?
It was. You can look it up. It was just something about what do they have to lose? We have a lot to
Oh,
lose.
unless you're referring to the fact that most of them voted for the Democratic Party, and the Democrats haven't done anything but screw black people for the last 60 years. And so the Great White Hope asked, why don't you give me a
Great
chance?
White. He says it
What do
with
you
such.
have to lose? You know what I mean?
He just keeps saying that shit. The Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope.
That sound like a horse.
I gotta ask you this.
Crazy.
You know, and I'm reading this because I didn't know this about you, but you're
Right.
known for roasting other comedians and
Yeah,
everything, right?
You look like a bug.
How do you get away with roasting them? How do you get away with roasting them? How do they feel about that?
I mean, it's love where we come from. It's just love. You know what I'm saying? It don't really be nothing too out the ordinary. You know, that's just how it coming when you come from the hood. Like if you was in our neighborhood, we'd tear your ass up. Real talk.
Do you live in the hood?
Hell yeah.
You live
I don't
in the
live
hood?
in the hood, but I'm from the hood.
But you don't live in the hood anymore.
I mean, you know, I'm down.
You're there?
I'm still around.
Are you going back to the hood to make it better?
I'm going back to the hood, you know what I'm saying, giving people hope and also showing them is another way. You know what I mean? Because
That's
I've
good.
been there before.
Yeah, I read that about you.
Yeah.
You did you roast Kevin Hart?
Uh-huh.
How did that go?
That's my homie. He
Yeah.
did it. He did it. He was shooting Think Like a Man too, and I roasted him, and then before you know it, he responded in like 15 minutes. And then we kind of just went back and forth, and it was on popping then.
Was he there while you were roasting? Or
No,
he
he was on set. I think Like a Man,
Uh-huh.
and he just reposed. He said something, did like 20 hashtags, and before you know it, I did like 30 videos that day.
Oh yeah.
I ain't playing.
Have you ever been roasted?
Hell yeah, I done been roasted bad. Bad, man. I'm talking about can't swallow bad. You like, damn, he tearing my ass up. And it was nothing I could say. They were like, they didn't want to hear that shit. It was like, what he's talking about? And yeah, but ever since that day, I said, nah, never again.
Have your feelings ever been hurt from someone roasting you?
Nah, I done had some harsh ass shit, like real harsh shit that was said to me, but it ain't never really hurt my feelings, 'cause that's just where we come from. Ain't no, you gotta have tough skin.
Oh yeah.
Niggas can talk about you, you can live, you can go through the world, do whatever you want to do. If you is afraid to be talked about, you
in trouble.
Oh, especially we in the 9th grade, nigga. We got 4 years of this shit,
Yeah.
and I only get better. Next question.
They can't.
Oh, okay. I don't blame you. I don't want you to get in trouble. How about Kanye West? He support the Great White Hope. What do you think about that?
That Kanye business.
You like Kanye?
Kanye cool.
Have
I
you
like,
ever-
I like his music.
Yeah. Have you ever met him?
No, I ain't never met him, but you know, through his music, I could tell, you know what I'm saying, he believes in what he stands for.
Yeah. Were you surprised to see him supporting the Great White Hope?
You be surprised at a lot of things. Like, you ever been to Georgia and it snowed and it rained and it be sunny in the same day?
No.
Man, it be like that sometimes.
I've never seen it snow and rain, but I've seen it rain and snow.
No, it snowed, then it rains. And then the sun come out
Have you heard of this
and the
guy?
pool be open.
Well, I've seen
On
it
the
snow
west
and rain
side.
in Georgia and Alabama. I
Better
used to
wear your
hang out in
swim-
Atlanta.
Better wear your swim shoes because the pool dirty.
Amazing.
Real talk.
Let me ask you this. You know who 21 Savage is?
Yeah, it's my nigga for him.
Did you know him before it was found out that he was here illegally?
I ain't know that. For him.
When you found that out, what did you think about that?
For him.
What's that?
Call free him.
Free him?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know what I mean? Let him go.
Let him stay
Let
here
him
even
go.
though he's illegal?
Who said that? Free him.
Free him.
Stay anyway?
You look illegal, nigga. You
Apparently-
ain't get your green card, nigga. You look like, yeah.
Apparently he
What
was
you
born.
mean?
Apparently he was born
Look
in the
like
UK.
your name Akbar Kapakapa. Fuck around with you.
Does it matter to you that he was born in the UK, came here, overstayed his visa?
Oh my God, it's
and
What
now
is
he's-
this land? What is this land? What they call it? The land of the free? Land of the free.
Isn't he in jail right now somewhere? He
don't
ain't
know.
free, that's for sure. Shouldn't he go back to the UK and come in the right way again if he can?
Man, my boy from the east side of Atlanta, man.
Oh yeah?
He's from Zone 6.
His what?
He from Zone 6.
So did you know him in Atlanta?
He from Zone 6.
You ever met him?
He from Zone 6.
Have you met him personally?
Who?
Uh,
Yeah, I know him.
21 Savage.
I know him.
Oh, you do? What is he like in person? What's your impression of him?
He's a real genuine guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything he does is entertainment, man. Well, he take care of his family, he take care of the community. So, in my point of view, free him.
Knowing him, were you surprised he didn't tell you that he was here
Man, what the
illegal?
hell is you talking about? There's a lot of people you know. They don't tell you everything. Who the hell to say that is true? Free him.
Oh, it might not be true about him being here illegally?
I don't know.
So you'd rather for him to stay as an illegal rather than get deported back home or sent back home?
Free him.
Amazing. Let me ask you about another thing that's very important. I'm sure this is important to you.
Right?
The president, the Great White Hope, is going to put up.
Hey man, the great part about it, I don't have a problem with the Great Right Hope. Bro.
I didn't think
you dig
you
what
would.
I don't
Yeah.
have a problem.
Because
know
you're a
what I'm saying?
businessman,
I don't
too.
have. It's just the decision makings. That's all it is.
Has-
And what he says on social media and on like the podium and stuff like on the social media. It's just the things that he say.
Okay.
You know, it's just be.
Has he said one thing
baffling
that's
sometimes.
wrong?
Huh?
Has he said one thing that's wrong, that's not the truth?
I don't know because I don't pay attention. It's the things that I see and the stuff that he says. I just be like, wow, this is the president talking.
Yeah, definitely two opposite ends of the spectrum there, man. It's very interesting to see them like collab pretty much and do this. Got people were saying DC doesn't really take this too seriously. Like I said before, he's a comedian, so there's gonna be a comedic undertone when he's doing these answers. I mean, you can definitely tell he's a bit weary on some of these questions. He has to be. Dude has a platform. Probably has a handler. I don't know. Just joking. But it's just definitely a weird combination, Jesse. And I was saying it was a weird combination before, but I feel like it works. Again, I feel like it's always meant for open dialogue. That should always be the case. People who have different point of views coming together and being able to discuss things. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Appreciate everyone coming back to the channel. Want to see you next time. Peace.